Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history? First and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line. Michigan puts 6 DBs on the field to counter this 5-receiver look. And they couldn't hook up on that one. A little too much juice on that one.
This quarterback sometimes gets a little bit too excited back there and tries to put too much on it. You got to relax and just make a good throw.
They've got one more shot. Let's see if their prayers will be answered with a good old Hail Mary. To the 10. And it's a whole new ball game. Going for 2 seems to be the right decision, and that's what they're going to do. They don't get it.
All right, let's see if I can get through this with only a couple tries.
So here you go, and make sure you know what button is lateral, because if it worked for them, it might just work for you. They'll line it up for the field goal.
Have to wait for them to miss, unfortunately. Like 3 tries.
He gets it up.
Oh, I thought he might have missed that one because it came off so weak. Usually that's a good sign. I feel like usually when I see it come off that weak, it also like tails off. Usually to the left, but no, that one stayed center. That's getting the 2 for 1 at the beginning is pretty unlikely. In fact, it almost puts me on too good of a pace. Like, it puts me on such a good pace that it like makes me nervous.
So here you go, and make sure you know what button is lateral, because if it worked for them, it might just work for you. They'll line it up for the field goal. It's up. And it is.
Ooh, that had some tail at the end. All right, give it one more try. Hell, give it a couple more tries. I don't quite know how many kicks I think is worth it. Suppose we can go for a few of them. I mean, because this forces me to get Hail Mary on the first attempt, it kind of frees up some time. It's like the whole point. But, I mean, doing the kick second is because, like, I don't want it to take too many attempts. Yeah, maybe, like, 5 is a more fair number right now.
Here's your chance. Can you take control
so this
and
is number
rewrite
3.
history?
On the 18-yard line.
Number 8 lines up for the field goal. He gets it up.
All right, we're in business.
Wide right. That would have given him the lead.
You know, sometimes you have to feel sorry for these
Hashtag
kickers.
Florida State wide right.
Sideline, but then they're asked to
They
come in
weren't
and
right
win
or
the
wide
game in the
left.
fourth
They're wide
quarter.
something.
It's a lot of pressure to handle.
The Golden Bears come out in the ace formation. He's losing ground.
All right, yeah, that's not too bad. And after 2 short ones, or it's like one play things, time for the exact opposite.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
Maybe.
SMU comes out defensively with 6 defensive backs. He decides to run with it. So under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the score is SMU 45, Brigham Young 27. Looks like we're about to see the most exciting play in football, the onside kick.
Quick recovery.
Great execution there by the special team.
Yeah, these guys are trying to make this game interesting, but they've still got a long way to go.
First and 10. Ball on their own 37. The Cougs line up with 5 receivers. Looking. And it's caught. And he's all the way down to the 15-yard line. Kirk, what do you think of this pass?
Well, Brad, here you're going to see a quarterback with a great touch. Often you see a quarterback with a strong arm, but in the replay, watch the quarterback lob it right over the shoulder of the receiver, right on target, allowing the receiver to run right underneath it.
Nice little pattern there.
Yeah, he had great position there, and that ball was thrown in the right spot.
Brigham Young in a 5-wide set. He's going to take off. Touchdown, BYU. Wow, now that is what I call a big-time play.
And here's why he was forced to make that play, Brad. First of all, he had no help from his receivers. No one could get open. And secondly...
sorry, Coach, but he didn't have much pass protection. He had to scramble out of the pocket and make something happen on his own.
So with just over 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, our score, SMU 45, Brigham Young 35.
A little hard.
With the onside kick.
That'll do.
And that play could get him right back in the game.
Whoa! If you thought this game was over, forget about it. Great effort by this special team unit. Let's see if they can stage this comeback.
Number 9 lines up in the shotgun. Back to pass. He's looking. And he got it! Here's an opening. Touchdown! They went for the home run, and the wideout came through with a big-time play.
Great call here by the offensive coordinator. He knew that he had a chance to get the matchup that he wanted, and they exploited it for a touchdown.
Drops back to pass, under heavy pressure. And now he's going to improvise. So with just over 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, our score, SMU 45, Brigham Young 43. Here it goes. That was just an outstanding effort by the special teams unit.
You know, no matter how much you practice it, recovering onside kick requires some luck.
It's first and 10. Ball on the 38-yard line. SMU puts 6 DBs on the field to counter this 5-receiver look. And it's incomplete. Nice job getting a hand on that one.
Yeah, really good heads-up play there to get a hand on the football by the defense.
It's second down and 10 to go. Ball on the 38. Number 9 has 5 receivers lined up here. He decides to run with it. And down he goes. A gain of 9 yards on the play. 3rd and 1 coming up on this play. Ball on their own 47. Brigham Young comes to the line. Only 1 man in the backfield. Here's the give. And he's taken down at the 46. And the tailback picks up the first down.
Well, here's a play that's not going to make the highlight reel, but it's so important to this offense.
You're absolutely right, Kirk. This offense is all about working your way down the field.
Number 9 with 3 wide receivers. And down he goes at the 42-yard line. He carries the ball for 3, maybe 4 yards. It's second down and 6 to go. Ball on the 42-yard line. Brigham Young lines up with 3 receivers. And he's taken down at the 34. And that was an excellent run there.
Yeah, that was great blocking, Brad, up front by the offensive line to open up that hole.
First and 10. Ball on the 34. The Cougs come out in the shotgun. He steps up. He's on the run. Here he goes. And they pick up 9 there. Second and 1 coming up here. Ball on the 25-yard line. Number 9 comes to the line with 3 wide. Again with the run. And down he goes. So they keep him in the field of play, guys.
Yeah, good pickup here on the ground, but I bet the coach would have been happier if he was able to get out of bounds on that play to stop the clock.
Remember, the clock stops to move the chains. but it'll start again once they are set, so they have to hurry up.
He gets it up. He got it. They win.
That was big. And that's actually a bigger goal than it looks, because I originally used to do the split first, which makes it a bit quicker with loading screens and stuff. So that was really like a 25-second gold. Like, that immediately makes up for going 3 attempts deep in the field goal split.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history? First and 10. Ball on the 14. Brigham Young comes out with 5 receivers. He's got to throw it in a hurry, and he's taken down. Nothing gained on the play. So it's second and 10. Ball on the 14-yard line. Missouri has all their DBs in for this 5-wide set. Under pressure, he decides to run with it. And down he goes at the 7-yard line. Brigham Young takes a timeout, and that was their last
Yeah, this is going to be a bad split. It is what it is.
Brigham Young lines up in a shotgun set. Back to pass. Can't find anyone open. Touchdown, BYU. I don't think that was supposed to be a run.
Maybe not, but he did show a lot of creativity. Nobody was open. It gave him a little bit of room to run, so he took it into the end zone.
And he hits the PAT. So we're down to just a few seconds remaining here in the ball game. And our score, Brigham Young, 21, Missouri, 17. With the onside kick. First and 10. Ball on their own 26. The Cougs have 5 receivers on this play. He's scrambling, decides to slide.
This one's usually pretty straightforward. The ones where you actually get a quarterback who can run the ball make it a lot easier.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
And Nebraska's quarterback here is super good at running.
Gutsy call by the coach here as they're looking to go in front with this 2-point attempt.
Like it's free.
And the gamble pays off. Now they're ahead.
The hard part of this run actually comes from making sure you get the onside kick and running out clock.
31. Here goes nothing.
Ideal.
Coach, you surprised by that call?
You know, Fred, nothing surprises me anymore in this game.
I think they got
I've
like 3
seen it all.
timeouts too.
It's first and 10. Ball on the 34-yard line. 5 wide. Drops back to pass. Looking. Now he tries to buy some time. No one open, so he's going to run. And down he goes at the 39. The Hurricanes are going to take a timeout, and they've got 2 remaining.
They say they've got
5 coming up here.
So I thought.
Ball on
they
the
have a bunch
39.
of timeouts. So.
Miami has all their DBs in for this 5-wide set. He decides to run with it. Miami takes a timeout. That was their second timeout. It's first and 10. Ball on the 47-yard line. Miami puts 6 DBs on the field to counter this 5-receiver look. Slides down to the ground. And now he's going to improvise. Miami calls a timeout, and that was their last timeout. Second and 8 coming up here. Ball on the 45-yard line. Nebraska comes out with 5 receivers. Slides down. They're backed up 8 yards on that play.
All right, that's it. Now we just wait for that clock to run out. We're good.
Want to get in. Ball on the 47-yard line. Miami brings in their nickel package.
Alright. Time for the easier of the 2 Hail Marys. We already did the harder one to start off, so I could just basically so I could reset every time I don't get it. This one's a little easier because QB's throw actually reaches the end zone, so you don't have to rely on any yards after catch. You just have to wait for your receiver to actually make the grab. Every once in a while, the throw doesn't actually get to the end zone, but it should. It does most of the time. If it doesn't, it's usually a me problem. Like it's just me not waiting long enough.
Here's your chance to avoid having to say your prayers and get the touchdown a little easier than at the last second. One last play, folks. It's time to find out how far he can throw it and see if this game becomes one of the all-time greatest. Here we go.
Whew, that was close. That was close to not being far enough, but we good. We take those. We move on.
Well, I thought we'd see the kicking unit, but they're lining up for 2. And he stops the clock with a spike.
An Iron Bowl, not a terrible split, but can get a little dicey at times. You're basically going for a walk-off field goal. Ideally, we just connect on the first big pass play, and then we can kind of just run the ball, get it to the middle, kick, get out of here. But we do got to connect on a big play early.
Here's your chance. Can you take control?
Literally going to run the same play I did for the Hail Mary.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 20. Auburn brings in the nickel here. Drops back to pass. He steps up.
That was weirdly short.
Incomplete pass.
Why did he shorter?
He made a nice defensive play there.
He sure did. He just stuck his hand out and hit the football.
It's one thing to not complete it. Why was it so short?
Number 11 has 4 receivers lined up here. Looking. He's going to air it.
That's more like it. What the hell? Yeesh, I am not liking the defense, though.
He sure did. This kid is very athletic. If he doesn't get a pick, he does his best to knock the ball down.
Usually at this difficulty, the jump balls are kind of free, but
steps up.
They're not right now. Jesus Christ! I might have to reset the split. Like, straight up. This might be a reset split. Can't believe it.
4th and a long shot. Here we go. His receiver has it.
Oh no, we go.
Across midfield.
And just like that, we're fine.
To the 20. To the 10. How crazy was that pass play, Coach?
Man, let me tell you.
It's going to be a bad split because of all the
incompletions.
incompletions.
That
but,
one.
like, obviously still not going to be a great split, but...
They're crowding that line of scrimmage. There's the kneel down by the quarterback.
And I kind of timed this weird, too. I should have been more up to the line. So I'm going to have to call timeout.
The Crimson Tide call for a timeout.
And when I did that weird, I should have done that a second later. Gonna have to, like, maybe short leg it. I think I might be overthinking it at that point.
So it all comes down to this. Someone's going to win because of this kick. But who will it be? It's up. And he got it! Game over!
That's a rough split. Oh well. That's a survival split, is what I'm gonna call that.
Forget about what's happened already. It's all about what's going to happen.
This is one where you get like a ton of time. Yeah.
1st and 10.
So ideally we
Ball
take
in the
this
23.
down to the end
Number
and
24 lines up
score
as a single back
towards like
inside
the very
handoff.
end.
And down he goes at the 26-yard line. And the halfback carries for a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 26-yard line. The Canes line up with 3 receivers bunched. A little misdirection. Spin move. Across midfield. And he's all the way down to the 42-yard line. What an impressive run that was.
Not only was this a big run, but that may have taken a little bit of steam out of the defense.
And they have 3 bunched.
Might need to go into Hail Mary for a few plays, get 24 off the field.
You'll get the call again. And he's taken down. He takes the handoff and responds with a 7-yard gain.
I should clarify, when I mean Hail Mary, I mean call Hail Mary and scramble. I know I've done it like a billion times, but I feel like I should probably clarify still.
The Hurricane set up in the gun. Drops back to pass. He steps up. He scrambles. You can't design those kind of plays.
Yeah, it makes it
What do you
very
think?
difficult for a defense to be aggressive when they have to account for what this kid can do with his feet as well as his arm.
Miami comes out with 5 receivers. Steps up. And they get the sack. He grabbed a hold of the quarterback and would not let go.
Well, he's able to slip right through a crack in the line and get a big sack.
2nd and 11 coming up. Ball on the 30-yard line.
I do want to gain some actual yards.
Miami lines up in a bunch formation. Spinning. And down he
That's
goes.
good.
A 10-yard gain.
Yeah, he is pretty gassed, but it is what it is.
Ball on the 20.
I still think he can get a yard in 2 runs.
Ace backfield. Inside give.
Or 1
And
run.
he's taken down at the 18. And they get enough for the first.
What's interesting about that short run on 3rd down is now they have the ability to go to the play-action pass and try to stretch this defense out a bit.
I was just going to say that, and don't be surprised if they don't go to the air right now.
Good yardage there on the scramble.
Well, you have to credit the quarterback here. He's not the most fleet-footed guy on the field, but notice how he has the awareness and the composure to know when to tuck it and go. And as a result, he comes up with a big play.
Take play clock down on this one, and then how we deal with the next play depends on how this goes. Like if I get basically up to the goal line, we
Back
keep
to back.
running it down.
Steps
But
up in
if
the
I don't,
pocket. He decides to
all right,
run
we
with
got
it.
what we wanted.
1, maybe 2 yards on the quarterback scramble.
Oh, they put me down at the 3. Weird. All right, maybe I snap it with like 6 seconds left then,
Going with the
in
shotgun
case I
here.
have to take a tackle and call timeout. Yeah, running it all the way to 0, probably not super smart.
He drops back. He steps up. He's got to throw it in a
All
hurry.
right, well I could have, but
Touchdown, Miami.
that's fine. That clock will run down on the
Quarterback
kickoff.
decided to improvise and took it in for the touchdown.
This is why this guy is such a special player. This is what makes the offense
Yeah, that'll be a
more
good split.
difficult to stop. When a quarterback can take it himself and run, it's just one more weapon the defense has to account for.
Number 25 ready to kick. Number 36 and number 49 back deep to return. And they'll be returning this one. Number 49 takes it at the 4.
Perfect. Got the clock run down. That's what we like to see. This one is please let me get a pretty good punt return. That's the whole goal. Punt return to, like, the opponent. That's, like, I can do it without it. But ideally, I get a punt return to, like, the opponent's, like, 10. And then I just kneel and game-winning field goal it. That would be the quickest way to go through the split.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
Ball on the 40-yard line.
I need to get
Number
better
10,
at this
set the
punt
punt.
return, because that should be like an integral part of it, and I kind of suck at it right now.
He gets it off. Number 25 takes it to 25. Breaks one.
I feel like I could have played that better, I feel.
Picked up some good solid yardage
I feel
on
like I
that
got a
return.
pass now.
That's not good for the old net punting average either.
First and 10.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta
Ball on their own
heave a
38.
throw and hope I get a completion here, because
The Buffalo bring in their dime package. He's looking. Chucks it deep down the right side. And got him! To the 10. And they bring him down. Let's check out the replay.
56-yard gain on the play.
I mean, perfect. We can do that as a walk-off field goal, too.
Number 12 in to attempt the short field goal.
That'll work.
It's up. And he got it. Game over.
It's a good split. All right. This is, in theory, the Florida State wide right game. I say in theory because, like, you might not, depending on how it goes, it might not even be a field goal. Ideally it is, because ideally they can drain the clock all the way down, but they give you like 3 minutes.
You know the situation, and I know you don't want to hear me say those words again. So let's
Oh, my
change
split on this is
history
terrible.
and put it through the uprights.
My gold split on this is good, but my regular split is terrible.
Number 87 takes it from the 6. At the 30. And now a slight break.
Of course,
in the
if I
action as
don't
the offense comes out onto the field for their
Run the
next
clock
possession.
all the way down, I could
It's
always
first and
just
10.
try to
Ball on the
onside
39.
kick, get the ball
Florida
back,
State
that,
goes with
all
the
that
ace set
jazz.
here. And down he goes. He really showed some good speed there.
I'll tell you, no question. When you talk about being able to turn on the Jets and leave everybody in the dust, you have to
And
mention
despite
this
the game
young man.
monitor,
He's got
Florida
skills,
State's kicker
but
is
his
actually
speed
pretty
is
good,
what the
if
pro
I
scouts
remember.
are drooling about.
Got some open field. And he busts a huge gainer there.
Boy, that one looks familiar. It looks like the exact same play they ran previously.
Kirk, you're absolutely right. And don't be surprised if they run it again.
Read my
Number
mind.
42 is the single setback. Inside handoff. That's a gain of 8.
On the run, gain of 8 on the play.
Second and 2. Ball on the 26.
6-yard line.
The Canes bring in their dime package. Drops back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Scrambling around. Good yardage there on the scramble.
Well, you have to credit the quarterback here. He's not the most fleet-footed guy on the field, but notice how he has the awareness and the composure to know when to tuck it and go. And as a result, he comes up with a big play.
Two tight end set. And he's taken down. He picks up 4 yards on the carry.
Gain of 4 on the play.
It's second down and 6
So
to
yeah,
go.
I'm close. I'm
Ball on
centered.
the 11-yard line.
We just work this play clock down. Take a knee.
There's the kneel down by the quarterback. Third and 8. Ball on the 13-yard line. Number 16 lined up for the field goal. This should be a chip shot. It's up. And he got it. Game over.
That's a nice minute time save. All right, one of my least favorite splits coming up because the quarterback's slow as ass. So much so that I straight up don't even want to. I gotta remember what play I called. I'll be able to find it. And if I don't, I will go for the old strat and pray. Should have had a picture of it. Oh well.
Before you start thinking about your two-point play, think about what's going to put you in the end zone
this one.
first. Then you can worry about that.
This is the play, whether it works or not. I know this is the play.
Kicking here is not an option. He drops back. Touchdown, Notre Dame! Nice touchdown combination on that one.
Oh, yeah, this receiver and quarterback are on the same wavelength at all times during this football game.
Taking a gamble here. This is for the lead. Back to pass. He steps up. He's looking. He's going to try and scramble. And now he's going to run.
Woo!
He's in.
I hate that
And
split
they
so
now
much.
have the lead.
Did you see how slow he ran, by the way?
Four down,
That's what
just
I'm
a
dealing
few
with.
seconds remaining here in the ball game. And our score, Notre Dame 17, Penn State 16.
Oh, that's bad.
Here goes nothing.
Yeah, all right, that was
Baylor recovered the
unfortunate.
onside kick. What are the coaches thinking there?
That's
This
exactly
could
where
this
I
could
was
be
going, Brad.
pretty bad for
This
me
is just
actually.
plain stupid. It doesn't make any sense to call a play like that.
We'll see though.
First and 10. Ball on the 42.
It's not like they're gonna run the ball, so
The Nittany Lions line up with 3 wide. And they couldn't hook up on that
Incompletion?
one. And the tight end couldn't manage to hold on to that one. Second and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line.
they're an I, but no, they aren't.
High formation here. Drops back to pass. Under pressure. Loose football. It's picked up by the defense. And down he goes. That was a huge turnover.
And it couldn't have come at a better time for this defense. You're trying to come up with a big stop, and now you get the ball
Yeah,
back.
we're gonna lose a little
Lead.
time, but
I
we're gonna
agree.
get through. That's all that matters.
The Irish come out in the ace formation. They keep it on the ground with the tailback. He's losing ground. And he's stopped behind the line.
Oh, that's save time. I guess it lost time over gold, but not over actual PV. I'll take it. All right, this one, they start you with a play that, like, sure would be nice to score on, but you don't technically need to. You have, because they give you a ton of time.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
4th and goal. Ball on the 20-yard line.
This would be a huge stop for the defense. He steps up.
Let's
He's
go.
all the way. Touchdown. And they had a tough time defending that one.
Well, Brad, one of the things with this defense is you leave yourself vulnerable in one-on-one coverage. Great throw by the quarterback and great speed by the receiver.
He's under some heat. He decides to run with it. So with just over 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the score is Notre Dame 31, Florida State 25. Number 3 needs a good bounce for a possible recovery here. Here it goes. So they get the ball right back.
Yeah, the kicker put the ball in perfect position. Brad, they made the decision to go for the onside kick, and this could very well have been the play that decides the outcome of this football game.
Florida State comes out with 2 tight ends, and he's taken down just about 3 yards there. 2nd and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 41-yard line. Florida State
Now it's time to
lines up with a
drain this
shotgun
clock.
set. He drops back, steps up, under pressure. He decides to run with it. He'll get 9 yards on the play. That one's worth another look.
Gain on the play. 1st and 10.
It's 1st and 10.
On the 50-yard
Ball on the
line.
50. They line up in a double tight set. Again with the run, and down he goes. A couple, maybe 3 yards on that run. 2nd and 7. Ball right around midfield. The Seminole set up in the gun. Drops back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Here they come. Got some open field. And he turned that one into a nice game.
Brad, this is a spectacular play by the quarterback. He caught the defense napping and, whoop, he took off.
34-yard line.
Number 28, the lone back. And he's taken down. And the halfback carries for a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 31-yard line. The Noles have 5 receivers on this play. Back to pass. He steps up. Looks like he's going to run. And down he goes. I got to see that one again.
Yeah, Brad, and this is really what you have to worry about when you play a quarterback like this. He's always ready to take off running like you see right here.
The Seminoles line up with 2 tight ends. And he's taken down. A
All right,
2-yard
that's
run.
enough
by the
halfback carries. It's
Second
QB
down and
time.
8. Ball on the 16. The Fighting Irish bring in their dime package. Can't find anyone open. He made a real nice play on that one.
I'll tell you what, in today's game, you have to have the ability to run the football. Give the quarterback a lot of credit. He made a great play and really gave his team a boost.
Notre Dame lines up with 5 defensive backs. He drops back, steps up. He's in trouble. He decides to run with it. 4 yards there on the scramble. They're crowding the line. There's the kneel down by the quarterback.
All right, how do I play this? Do I do it for the last play?
Line up in a nickelback.
I don't love what he's doing. I might stab it with like 5 seconds left.
Drops back to pass. Looking, steps up in the pocket. He's going to try and scramble. And down he goes at the 3.
Yeah, that was smart.
The Seminoles are going to
I did end up needing the
and
extra
they'll have
play,
one
so.
timeout left.
All right, this is it.
Notre Dame has all their DBs in for this 5-wide set.
And we're good.
And we're all tied up.
I suppose we're an extra point away from good, but you get what I mean. That would be a crazy choke, but not planning on that shit.
Yes, he made it, and this one is over.
Say I played it a little risky with time there at the end, but technically worked. We get out of it alive, we're fine. Choke-a-doke time.
Time for some fun and gun to quiet the war chants. But with this rivalry, you never know what'll happen.
Well,
Here's the kick.
doesn't have to be fun and gun.
Number 28 takes it at the 8. Spinning.
Would have liked a better return.
And now we'll see the
but-
offense come out onto the field
Well,
for
actually-
their next possession.
You know, I say that,
First and 10.
but I think one
On the
deep
25-yard
shot
line.
would actually just make this whole thing way
Now,
easier.
shotgun. Steps up. He lobs it out to the right. He got it. He's
Yeah,
all
now
the
we can
way
kind of
down
just.
to the 33-yard
Well, I do
line.
actually need more yards,
Use another
but
shot of that pass there, Coach.
Yo, look at that touch on that.
but
pass.
we are just gonna
Wasn't that
Hail Mary
beautiful?
scramble,
You're
try to pick
absolutely
up
right.
another
There's
10 or
no
so
question.
yards,
This guy
and we
has
should be golden.
incredible precision.
He scrambled. He takes off. Decides to slide. An 8-yard gain. It's second down and 2 to go.
Yeah, if I remember, my
Ball on the
kicker's kind of
25-yard
ass,
line.
so I will not.
Florida State
Hesitate
with
to take
6
some
DBs on the field.
extra
The counter is
yardage.
5-receiver look. Looks like he's going to run. Nice job by the quarterback to tuck that one and run.
Nice job here. He's not the most athletic quarterback out there, but you can see that he makes up for it with his decision-making ability. Here he looks downfield, finds nobody open, and decides to take off with it and comes up with a solid game.
And down he goes. The halfback gets the call and picks up 5. There's the kneel down by
right.
the quarterback. They're down in 7. Ball on the 11-yard line. This isn't much more than an extra point. It's up. He got it. They win.
All right, time for hope they don't score on me time. It's one play. They just can't score a touchdown. That's all. ACC bullshit. Obviously, I had to remember to skip over Colorado, Michigan earlier because that was the thing we did very first.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history? Florida State lines up in a shotgun set. Back to pass. He unloads it.
Easy.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
3rd and goal, so I got
That brings
2
up
plays
3rd
to
and
get
goal.
it. Yeah.
Ball on the 11-yard line. Ohio State puts 6 DBs on the field to counter this 5-receiver look. Touchdown, Arizona
So,
State.
yeah, and my QB can,
Wow, now that
can
is
scoop,
what I
so.
call a big-time play.
And here's why he was forced to make that play, Brad. First of all, he had no help from his receivers. No one could get open. And secondly,
sorry, Coach, but he didn't have much pass protection. He had to scramble out of the pocket and make something happen on his own.
Well, they might just be trying to get the return team in the wrong formation and then kick it over their head.
That was bad.
Here goes nothing.
We take those.
Well, you got to say, this team's got guts.
yes, they do. It's not every day you see a team go for an onside kick in a situation like this. Lucky for them, they'll get the ball right back.
Number 29 is the single setback. On the ground with the tailback. And down he goes at the 46. That's a gain of 8. 2nd and 2 coming up here. Ball on the 46. Ohio State lines up with 5 defensive backs. Drops back to pass. He steps up. He's going to try and scramble. Here's an opening. And he's taken down at the 46-yard line. Ohio State calls a timeout. And now they got no timeouts left. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 46. Arizona State lines up in a shotgun set. Rolling out to the left side. Under heavy pressure. And now he's got room to run. Decides to slide. 6-yard pickup. 2nd and 4. Ball on the 40-yard line. 2 tight ends here. They keep it on the ground with a tailback. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
All right, that'll do it.
It's 3rd down and 4 to go. Ball on the 40. Ohio State has all their DBs in for this 5-wide set. Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
1st and 10.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 33-yard line. Missouri lines up in a dime defense here. Looks. He's going long. That looked like a pretty good pass.
Yeah, it was, and it was a catchable ball. Thrown right at him. He just didn't catch it.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 33. The Tigers line up with 6 defensive backs. And now he's going to run. And down he goes. 5, maybe 6 yards there on the scramble. It's 3rd down and 4 to go. Ball on the 39.
Might just pick up the first down really quick and myself some more chances.
Missouri lines up with 5 defensive backs. He's going to take off. At the point. And he's taken down. He got the first down and much more.
I'll tell you what, this guy is a threat every single time he touches the ball.
Kirk, you're absolutely right. I like this guy more every time I see him.
Nebraska comes out in the shotgun. He steps up. Now he's scrambling. He keeps it. He's knocked out of bounds. They'll get 6 yards. 2nd and 4. Ball on the 22-yard line. They'll bring in their dime package. Steps up. Can't find anyone open. He's on the run. He had a whole lot of room to run on that one.
When the pressure's coming from the inside and the quarterback can escape the pocket, it usually means he's going to have some room to run.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 12. The Tigers line up in a nickel back. Back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to take off. He's got an opening. Knocked out of bounds. A nice pickup of about 8 yards. Nebraska comes out with 5 receivers. He takes off. The Cornhuskers call for a timeout. That was their 2nd timeout. The Huskers line up with 5 receivers. And now he's going to improvise. Touchdown, Nebraska! Gutsy call by the coach here as they're looking to go in front with this 2-point attempt. And the gamble pays off. Now they're ahead.
The greatest game ever played at the Swamp. Yeah, alright. Whatever they say. Whatever you say, pre-Tim Tebow Florida Gators.
The Florida faithful are behind you. Will you keep it on the ground or go with what this offense is all about, throwing it downfield? 2 tight ends here. They go with the run.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And he gets a yard on the run.
I always forget.
2nd and 9. Ball on the 21-yard line. The Seminoles line up in a nickel back. Back to pass. He steps up. Aaron and out long. And he got it.
All right.
And he's brought down. He appears to have been injured on the play.
That's fine. That's the only play I needed out of you anyway. We ball now. We ball.
Number 12 has 5 receivers lined up here. No one open, so he's going to run. And he has a huge gain.
Yeah, and I like the decision-making ability of this quarterback. He looks and looks. He sees nothing. He didn't get rattled. He sees some green in front of him, and he takes off. Ends up with a great run.
Number 12 lines up with 5 wide out. Drops back to pass. Steps up. He's scrambling. Looks like he's going to run. And down he goes. An 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2. Ball on the 18-yard line. Florida State puts 6 DBs on the field to counter this 5-receiver look. He's going to take off. He keeps it and maybe gets 3 yards. It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 15-yard line. They line up in the shotgun. He drops back. He's looking. Steps up in the pocket. It's dropped. So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 15. The Gators set up in the gun. He steps up, looks. He's going to try and scramble. And they
I really got to stop doing that.
A big-time play by the defense.
Well, he just really overpowered the offense there. He simply used power to slide right through and come up with the pressure to bring down the quarterback.
This could be bad, by the way.
The Knowles bring in the nickel package. He's going right. And got it.
No way. No way. No way.
A nice completion.
Oh, I've got the plot armor. I've got the frickin' plot armor. Holy shit. I've got the plot armor.
Try to confuse the timing of this offense.
I should be resetting this split right now. I should be heading to quit out and redo this right now, dude.
Back to pass. Steps up. He's on the run.
We're getting greedy. Oh, man. I didn't mean to cross the plane.
Had to make something happen there, and did he ever?
Did not want to cross the plane, actually. Not huge, but...
That's me. Hey, old school. Didn't they just score on that play? Give him a break.
He takes off. They got it. So we're down to just a few seconds remaining here in the ball game. And our score, Florida 33, Florida State 29. Here's the onside kick. Well, you got to say, this team's got guts.
Yes, they do. It's not every day you see a team go for an onside kick in a situation like this. Lucky for them, they'll get the ball right back.
Florida comes out with two tight ends. They'll work the right side. He tries to spin, and they got him for a loss. The Seminoles call for a timeout, and now they've only got one remaining. It's second down now, 14 to go. Ball on the 32-yard line. The Gators come out in a two tight end set, and they'll run him again. He retreats.
This next split legit should never give me trouble, and it just does anyway.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history? It's first and 10. Ball right around midfield. The Spartans bring in the nickel package. Steps up. He's going right. Got it. And he's tackled. It's a good-looking throw here, Coach.
Boy, Brad, you're right. You said it. Watch the release here. Perfect form as he just lobs it out there for the receiver to catch.
The Buckeyes have 5 receivers on this play. He's got to throw it in a hurry.
Oh, shit.
And he's going to be sacked. And that'll get this defense fired up.
The offensive lineman had his feet too close together. As an offensive lineman, you got to spread your feet and have a nice base.
The Spartans line up in a nickelback. Fires. Touchdown, Ohio State. They went deep there, and did they have good luck with it?
Well, I'll say that was a great touchdown catch by the wide receiver.
I'd kick the point after in this situation. Looking. Now he's scrambling. Looks like he's going to run. Number 64 with a recovery.
That's fun. Do I risk it? I'm still going to risk it.
And it looks like they're going to try an onside kick here. With the onside kick. And so they keep possession of the football.
Brett, I don't like this call at all. As a general rule, you should never try an onside kick when you're winning, unless you're trying to run up the score, which it seems like in this case.
One-man backfield. On the ground with the tailback. He's got an opening. Inside the 30. To the 10. He loses some ground. He's all the way down to the 29-yard line. Michigan State takes a timeout, and now they've only got one remaining. First and 10. Ball on the 29-yard line. Ace backfield. Here's the give. He retreats. Spins upfield, and they got him for a loss. The Spartans call for a timeout, and that was their third and final timeout. It's second down and a long ways to go. Ball on the 34-yard line. The Spartans bring in the nickel package. Steps up in the pocket. Plenty of time in the pocket. Can't find anyone open. He's going to take off. He's on the run. That scramble gets them 7 yards.
7-yard gain on the play.
And that's it.
Third down and what they didn't want to get in. Ball on their own 41. The Buckeyes set up in the gun.
All right, this next one, admittedly, could take some time. This next one could take a little bit of time. I got it first try on the first run, but I would not count on that happening twice. I mean, Donovan McNabb can run, but it's a decent bit out, and it's a one play. It's one of those one play type of things. And I actually kind of wish it was a little further out, but it's not.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
Fourth and goal. Ball on the 13-yard line.
Not much choice here. They have to try for it. Oh, he had the pick and he dropped it.
Yep, that's how it's going to be. I think that's the first failed split I've had, except with the exception of like the Stanford field goal, which, you know, you kind of expect to have a few fails in there. So, not bad. First fail this deep in. As long as this doesn't go on like a really, really, really long time, we'll be good.
No matter what, the ball has to end up in the end zone or it's over. Your quarterback knows how to run, but he can be just as good throwing the ball. Now it's your call.
Fourth and goal. Ball on the 13-yard line.
Fourth and a long shot. Steps up in the pocket. Throws to the middle.
Maybe I am just better off on it. I'm going to Hail Mary it next time. Like Hail Mary scramble. That legit video game logic, even with where it is, I have Donovan McNabb. I think, like, repeating that is going to be more likely than trying to force a throw in on routes I haven't thought of more. I should lab this one, have a route that, like, I feel pretty consistent about.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite
What do you
history?
do? Run like 13 yards? Yeah, it's not even that bad.
Obvious passing situation here. Steps up.
What the hell? What the hell was that? Kind of blocking on what the hell? This is on the easiest difficulty, by the way. I feel like that shouldn't happen. Alright, this split's becoming pretty bad. First really bad split we've had. Yeah, it just kind of sucks.
Here's your chance. Can you take control and rewrite history?
Ball on the 13-yard
Nickel defense. He drops back, steps up, can't find anyone open. There he goes.
Oh my god, that's so clearly the easiest way to go about it. I was dumb for thinking passing was even worth it. I have Donovan McNabb. What am I doing? It's Donovan McFucking-Nab.
Well, I thought we'd see the kicking unit, but they're lining up for two.
That's fine.
They
Live and
don't
learn.
get the
Live and
two.
learn. Live and learn. Remember, when you have Donovan McNabb and QB scrambling is broken in the video game, you use Donovan McNabb. Alright, last split, and this one is a bit of a crapshoot. So we just hope it doesn't take too many tries. You see this, the 5-13 split there? This could be like a minute split, by the way. This could be like one of those slightly over a minute splits. It's kind of just a matter of how many attempts this is going to take. Because we are not going to overtime, because that shit is slow as hell. Instead, we are going to...
Miami fans only know wide right from another Florida team, not theirs. Can you keep that tradition going, or will you start one of your own?
4th and 10. Ball on the 23-yard line.
They come out with three wide receivers. Drops back to pass. He steps up, guns it across the middle.
And we ball. And we ball. It's going to be a 107. Let's go.
I'd kick the point after in this situation. They don't get the two.
Whew. 107-14. Almost 14-minute PB. Let's go. Some of best sub hour now. Some of best sub hour. Kind of. There's a bit of kind of in there, but just because like a few of them being first kind of screws that up. But I know the potential is sub hour because there's plenty of these that I could gold by a lot more.